Hey guys, Ben here and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about the Green Arrow casting rumors. We have to break it down and talk about what has gone on in the last couple of days. So let's go ahead and get into this. So we're going to be breaking down two articles. One is from Screen Rant, one is from Superhero Hype. So we need to talk about all of this because Green Arrow is expected to appear in the DCU at some point, right? Because he is one of the biggest DC characters that hasn't been announced for the DCU yet. Obviously, the popularity of Green Arrow is in large thanks to the Stephen Amell show on the CW. It spawned the Arrowverse. Obviously, that's where it gets its name from. And lots of people have been speculating about who could play Green Arrow for years. There's been rumors it could be Charlie Hunnam, who would be a great Green Arrow. Well, I think the time has passed for that, and now people have other ideas. However, there was something that popped up in the last couple of days that I think's a little bit more interesting than just a fan casting. So I'm going to break down this article from Screen Rant, written by Andy, my good friend. So shout out to Andy for writing this. And the article goes like this: James Gunn responds to rumors about Green Arrow being cast for the DC universe. One of the most highly anticipated projects from the DCU is the live-action Green Lantern TV series Lanterns, which is obviously coming out on HBO and is being shot right now. So the show is obviously set to focus on Hal Jordan and John Stewart, and Lanterns will explore the famous Green Lanterns that tackle a dark Earth-based mystery in this TV show while investigating a murder in the American heartland. That's part of the synopsis that was released a while ago. So a fan recently asked Gunn on Threads, is it true that Garrett Dillahunt, who is an actor who you guys might be familiar with, will be playing Green Arrow in Lanterns next year due to him posting these photos on his Instagram story yesterday? I'm going to pop up the photos and the screenshot on the screen right now. So basically, Garrett Dillahunt, the actor, posted on Instagram a storyboard which showcased him as Green Arrow, and then he also showcased a shot of him. His face is there, he's got the Green Arrow mask on, and obviously it's fan art. Like, the first one was made by like some sort of comic book artist, and obviously he's looked at it and has been like, wow, this is great, like, okay, let me post it. But fans have read way too much into it because it's simply an actor just posting something that he thought was cool, and James Gunn simply replied to this person on Threads saying, haha, no. So James instantly set the record straight that Garrett is not playing Oliver Queen, aka the Green Arrow, in the DCU. In fact, Garrett is going to appear in Lanterns, but he's not going to be playing that character. He's going to be playing a different character called William Macon in the TV show, who is described as a self-righteous, conspiracy-minded man who masks ruthless ambition behind a charming and calculated facade. So we will be seeing him in the show, but that is the character that he is playing. He's not going to be playing Oliver Queen in the TV show. So what does James Gunn addressing Green Arrow mean for the DCU? Like, are we going to see Green Arrow? Well, we're going to talk about some big fan castings in just a minute because we've got that other article to break down. But Screen Rant goes on to say, while Dillahunt's mysterious story has since been deleted since his initial posting, it's not a shock that some would think this was maybe a Green Arrow tease. Even though Dillahunt has already joined the Lanterns cast as a character with an attached name, it is not uncommon for superhero projects to cast players who have cover names before revealing who they actually are in a series or movie, if the writers are pulling from comic book canon. Given how his character in Lanterns is described, it doesn't really sound like Green Arrow, so it's probably not Green Arrow, and I think he was just posting something for fun. But what Andy writes is very true. Like, there is definitely the possibility that Green Arrow could pop up in Lanterns. He could pop up in any DCU project, and he could be played by this person, or it could be another actor, because like he said, in all superhero films, if they want to hide someone, they just give them a different name. And Andy goes on to actually point out something very important, and it's understandable why some people would think that Green Arrow would potentially show up in Lanterns, as Hal and Oliver have a famous superhero friendship in DC canon, which is entirely true, and I think that relationship would actually be great on screen. So that's why I wasn't too surprised by hearing these rumors, because I don't think it's far-fetched to assume that you could see Green Arrow and a Green Lantern on screen together at some point. But let's move on to talk about 5 actors who could be DCU Green Arrow. So this is an article by Superhero Hype. Again, link will be in the description below if you want to go ahead and read the article for yourself. They give us 5 possibilities for who might bring the Emerald Archer to life in the DCU, and I do think that we will see Green Arrow at some point just because he's so popular and he's a great character with different skill sets than a lot of other characters in DC. Obviously there are other archers that could appear, but he's kind of like your main central archer. Obviously you got Huntress as well. Maybe she could show up at some point, but she's got a crossbow. It's not a bow and arrow, it's a bit different. But let's talk about some actors that could play Green Arrow and Oliver Queen in the DCU. Number 1 is obviously Charlie Hunnam, who we talked about just at the start of this video. Charlie Hunnam, as they say, is perhaps the biggest fan favorite to play Green Arrow. He first rose to fame in Sons of Anarchy. I'm sure some of you guys have seen it. He's also been in a bunch of other films and TV shows, including Rebel Moon by Zack Snyder. But for a long time he's been the favorite to play Green Arrow just because he kind of looks the role. He kind of looks like Oliver Queen in the comics. It's not far-fetched to assume that he could actually do a good job as Green Arrow. However, I would say he is kind of like on the older side, unless they want to go older with Green Arrow. Kind of like maybe Green Arrow is more like a senior figure in the Justice League, and he could be a mentor to other characters, whether it be like Wally West or The Flash, or maybe someone like Speedy. Kind of how Stephen Amell's Green Arrow was a mentor to Barry Allen in the Arrowverse. And the one sticking point with Charlie Hunnam is the fact that he is apparently uninterested in the role of Oliver Queen. He actually called that out a while ago. I remember when it came out being like, wow, like he actually said something like this. That's crazy. So probably not going to be him just because he is supposedly disinterested. But let's talk about the second option, which is kind of crazy that I'm reading this because, yeah, I don't see this happening at all. But Superhero Hype put Alan Tudyk. Now, you guys know Alan Tudyk from his voice acting, and he's been in quite a lot of live action projects and everything, and he's even in the upcoming Superman film, and he's playing a robot there. He's in Creature Commandos. The main reason that they're saying Alan Tudyk is because he played Green Arrow in Young Justice and in the Injustice video game series. So with his experience playing Green Arrow, obviously some have thought, okay, could he play like an older Green Arrow, and that could be a thing that they want to do. I just don't see that happening. I feel like you're just not going to have as much fun with Green Arrow. Like, you need a kind of young Oliver Queen. That's what Green Arrow is all about. He's this young playboy. Alan Tudyk's like 54 years old now. That's not a young Green Arrow. He's not going to be very mobile. He's not going to be doing a lot of action. Yes, he could be a good mentor, but I just think as much as James Gunn likes Alan Tudyk and likes working with him, I don't think that's really a possibility. I feel like you need a younger Green Arrow, whether it's like Charlie Hunnam's age. He's probably on like the older end of what I would be going for with Green Arrow. He's 45 now, so that's like kind of old, but not too old. He kind of looks a bit younger than he actually is. But let's talk about our third option. So this is Harry Goodwin's. Now, I'm not really familiar with Harry Goodwin's work before, but we seemingly picking on a lot of people that have worked with Guy Ritchie before. So Harry Goodwin's is known for being in the New Gentleman TV show on Netflix. He plays Jack Larson in that show, who's a boxer. I think they're going for him because of his physicality and his looks. He kind of could look like a scruffy Green Arrow. He's got the kind of facial structure and look. And apparently Goodwin's is interested in the role of Green Arrow, and indeed he's begun lobbying for the part on social media, sharing fan-altered photos of himself meant to show how he would look as the Emerald Archer. So I think that's the biggest thing going for him, that he is actively lobbying to be Green Arrow, and that sometimes works. It kind of goes against their favor sometimes if an actor is like pushing it way too hard, and maybe like James Gunn is like, nah, don't think so, let's go for someone else. So I think he stands a chance just because he's interested, and I think he does have the looks. But let's talk about another person who could be possibly playing Green Arrow. That could be Travis Fimmel. Now, Travis Fimmel is an Australian actor who is another fan favorite. Some of you guys might have watched the TV show Vikings. He played a character in that show. And more recently, he was in Dune Prophecy, which maybe some of you guys saw. And so he's got experience and he's got the looks, and some people think he would make a great Green Arrow. So let me know, what do you think of him down in the comments below. And number 5, of course, the number 1 pick is Stephen Amell. Stephen Amell obviously played Arrow for many seasons, for 8 seasons in fact, and he played Oliver Queen in the Arrowverse in a ton of crossovers many times. So when asked about recreating and going back in for the role in the DCU, he replied, yeah, I'd do it. And so that's obviously a huge thing, and he's already extremely popular as Green Arrow, so fans would already be lining up to see him on the big screen. Whether he plays the Arrowverse version of himself or a different Green Arrow, I think everyone's going to be in for it. So his portrayal was often described as being too grim compared to the Green Arrow of the comics, but fans always loved him, and he is just Green Arrow in everyone's eyes. Like, it's similar to Grant Gustin, he is the Flash. And so let me know down in the comments below, how likely do you think it is that Stephen Amell could return as Green Arrow in the DCU? I feel like it's not too far-fetched, whether it's just a cameo or whether he actually plays a big role. I do think with James Gunn being smart, and I think he's going to go about things in the right way, it could definitely be a possibility with him and Grant Gustin potentially returning in the future in the DCU as their respective characters once again. So that pretty much does it for this video, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please be sure to leave a like and a comment. It would really help this video get out there. Also subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any future videos. I'm going to try and upload more, guys. Leave any video suggestions that you have down in the comments below, because I definitely want to make more videos, just not too much going on right now. But for now, you can click on the top right corner of the screen to watch my latest video, and I'll catch you guys later. Goodbye.